And we're back in the room. Game 2 of our first semi-final of the 2025 Blood Bowl 3 World Championships is just around the corner. AndyDavo and Arzowane gave us a 2-2 draw in today's first game. Nice start to the day, 4 touchdowns right away. And I am looking forward to bringing you the second game together with Vitooc with me in the studio, and also Jimmy Fantastic, who is with us on the dial-in. So let's get Jimmy. He's on the dial-in. He was previously in a secret green room that we didn't know about. Now we know that the whole story we were fed about Jimmy not making it to France, about him not having his passport, it was all a lie. He's just been hanging out, checking out the tourist sites, and there he is in front of the Eiffel Tower. Jimmy, how is the view over there?
That's fantastic. I love a bit of sightseeing, as everybody knows.
And I'm jealous because apparently it was perfect condition and we did not.
I know. I'm wondering how you got the sky so blue, because when we walked in this morning across Paris, it was definitely grey and pretty cold and wet. But Jimmy looks happy out there in the sunshine. So good start to the day. Good start to the day. Jimmy, good start to the day in the Blood Bowl as well. I thought that was a really fun first game. What would you be taking away from it as each of the two players, I suppose? Let's start with Andy. What would you be taking away from that game if you were Andy?
Well, I'd definitely feel relieved that I got away with that, I think. A huge relief for Andy, and, just try and put the mistake out of his mind and focus on the next game. If he wins, he's in, and things went well for him. He made loads of removals. Mostly he's going to win that game with those dice, right? So he's just got to put what happened out of his mind and crack on. And same with Arzowane. Arzowane's got to put out that timeout out of his mind and think, look, he did well against the adversity. Hopefully for him, Andy won't make so many cas this time, and he'll have more of a crack of the whip.
Well, no more time to preview it because they are wasting no time, I suppose, with this being the earlier games today, and perhaps they're feeling fresh and just wanting to crack straight on. The players are already in game, and Arzowane will once again start in defence. I don't know who won the coin toss this time. We know that last time Arzowane won the coin toss and selected to defend, so it may well be that Arzowane won the coin toss again, or perhaps Andy got it and just wanted to go on offence first. But either way, we are back to where we were at the start of game 1. And Jimmy, last time Andy really got as good of a start as he could have asked for. I think he got 2 removals on turn 1, 1 casualty and 1 KO. In fact, that KO, I think Vitooc never came back for the whole game.
Yeah.
But he still ended up getting forced in for a slightly earlier score than he was looking for. So I don't know. I don't know if there's really much to say, Jimmy, about a changed approach in that regard, because to a great extent, it brings us back to the same thing Andy said to us right at the start of today, which is he does find these offences hard with OWA. He does find the team is just not as reliable as he wants it to be moving forward. Although, before I can even finish that thought, Jimmy, it's a blitz, evening the score perhaps from the last game when Andy got 1.
Yeah, not the best anti-blitz from Andy, but not the best kick to take advantage of it. It's still decent anti-blitz setup. Not as good as it could have been if it had been a really dangerous kick, but luckily for him, it's not a dangerous kick, so it's good enough defence. And it'll be interesting to see how much Arzowane attacks this. It might not bother because it's...
Might not bother why? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Because it's a bit deep and he can't really get anything through to it, can he? That's the problem.
What would you have liked to have seen Andy do differently when you say about the anti-blitz setup? Because again, we are talking about really, really good players here, but a lot of people might be hearing that and going, "Oh, well, it looks good to me." So what would you have liked to see different?
Cover the edges a bit more, right? Cover the extreme edges a bit more. As it was, if this kick had gone, whoa. Huge.
That is a very, very different start to the last game. So instead of Andy getting up players early, loses a player on his offense before he's even taken a turn. That is tough. Tough start for Andy.
Mega.
I will remind maybe the viewer. I don't know if you did since I was talking to the players, but since we are using the colors that replace the customization, now Andy is in blue. And Arzowane is the red player.
Thank you. Yes, we did find this yesterday, didn't we, with the Skaven mirror. The colours swap from game one to the second one because the system is switching the teams between home teams and away teams. So, yes, this may be a little bit confusing for people who just watched the last game, but Arzowane in red, Andy in blue.
Yep. The good thing here is you can look for the dwarves, and that will help you identify which team is which.
Yeah. And Arzowane very helpfully just removed one of Andy's humans from the pitch, so it'll make it a little bit easier to see again. Goodness. To remind everyone of the situation in the tournament, this is do or die time now because the first game was a draw. So that's not, I suppose that's technically not true. They can still draw, but it is a situation where if either of them wins, the other one is out. So you can win and go to the final here. A winner in 16 turns is going to the final. If you lose, you will go to the third or fourth game, and if you draw, then there will be a third decisive game, which can go to overtime. But what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way is this could be the last game of the series if we get an outright winner. So absolutely disastrous start for Andy, who can't afford to lose, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep, it's do or die or draw.
Or draw, exactly. Do or die, or maybe not.
I guess this pickup will be quite scary, right, for Andy there.
Yeah, very scary. And Arzowane's sort of done a halfway to what you were saying, right, Jimmy? He's put some forward pressure, but he hasn't overcommitted.
Yeah, I'm surprised he put this much pressure in, honestly. But when you think about it, it is towards the edge, isn't it? It is a wide kick, although it's not. It wasn't easy to get pressure on. It's enough that he can build the pressure over a couple of turns, especially with the removal. So fair enough to do this. I think Andy's going to have to rush with the ball, isn't he?
Oh,
even that's
Andy has got a removal back. KO with the block ogre.
Alignment's right.
And block doing the thing as well. So block on that ogre, which of course Arzowane's ogre doesn't have, doing some work.
Yeah, rush. Yeah, he had to get that rush in.
Yeah. Big rush. Also, Arzowane, as we see the pickup, succeeds on the sure hands. Brawler.
Oh!
Brawler doesn't work. That's a change. But Arzowane's got a really nice position here for... Oh, no, but I like Andy's solution to it. I was about to say for taking that Troll Slayer out of the action, but in fact not, because Dauntless, combined with the Guard, actually do get that Troll Slayer 2-dice block. So very nicely done by Andy to get the most of that and gets a very nice stun. I'm sure he would have preferred a removal, but that stun is very, very useful.
So will you just withdraw here with Arzowane, since, okay, the pressure did not work, the pickup worked, so I just prefer to get back in place in defense?
It's slightly awkward withdrawal, isn't it, Jimmy, from here?
I think I want to hit the catcher with my Tackle Mighty, basically. Right. So I would want to keep the pressure on just because I really, really want to hit that catcher with my Tackle Mighty. He's not doing it, though.
Going for the Troll Slayer instead, getting a chain push.
Yeah, extra punch is good. Would have broken AV on the catcher just quietly. I guess he is going to withdraw, though, with that blitz.
Yeah. Well, withdrawing obviously puts you into 10 versus 10 situation, which again is much better than where he started the last drive. And I suppose this is partly taking this approach is shielding yourself from the possibility that Andy manages to get around you quickly. Although, as you say, Jimmy, if you hit the catcher, Andy's not going anywhere quickly.
Yeah, I really like that. Also, he could have blitzed the Tackle Mighty with his Garter, right? He could have come around and blitzed that, which would have been okay.
Yeah. Did get some good extra hits out of that, though, and now has got a couple of dwarves in pretty not great squares on the floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that really delicate balance in Blood Bowl, isn't it, between are you playing the the more immediate benefit, or I guess playing the long game for the drive? Because we are only, of course, on turn. Well, that was turn 1 for Arzowane, in fact, because the first turn, his first actions weren't even on a turn; they were on a blitz. So, still very much at the beginning of this one. And I suppose that
It's just always hard to get to hit the tackle mighty, and it's always hard to get to hit the catcher, right? So
Yeah.
just the fact he could have hit either, I would have liked to have hit one of them.
I wonder if there's almost like as well, there's that thing, it's like a mindset thing of remembering like what your opponent is playing, because unlike humans with Old World Alliance, it is just the one catcher. That one catcher is all you've got for speed, and when that goes, it really changed the dynamic of the team. Whereas on a human team, it would still be really bad to lose catcher, but you've got another one. So it's that that chance of taking off the unique positional, I think, is interesting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Andy's goal here, just to get it stable, isn't it? And he's looking okay here for having a nice cage in the middle of the pitch. Has managed to rescue
that
one
was
of
the
those
problem. Sorry, that was the problem with Arzowane's blitz, was that it kind of made this stabilization pretty easy for Andy.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, it wasn't that much of a struggle. Do you think the catcher being down would have made it harder? I suppose that the angle of it would have been in the way of where they were going.
Yeah, you would have split the team a little bit, or you would have isolated the tackle mighty, one of the two. But whichever way, I think blitzing either of those was good. Like, it was fine when he did, and it let Arzowane stabilize more, but it made Andy's stabilization easier. So it's just a trade-off with whether you want to do it or not, and getting to hit the high quality player. So I would have preferred that, but it's not. It's just an opinion, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe he just really wanted to hit the trolls there because he knows what Andy does with Frenzy. Although we haven't seen a lot of that this tournament, or at least this finals weekend. Does get a nice stun on a dwarf there. Once again.
Yeah, it wasn't comfortable having the Slayer stood there, so.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if it was partly about that. It has a 1 dice here on the ogre, I think. Obviously, it's an ogre with blocks, so it needs to be a push or better to be helpful.
Yeah, I think you'll take 1D at the end.
Yeah, I think so. And that was, once again, by the way, a dwarf without block going down because it didn't have block, so. At OWA's last hurrah. We are seeing the highs and lows of this version of OWA in this tournament, because we have had a lot of fun with the armbar and the brawler, but we have also seen some weaknesses as well. This feels like...
Not so easy for Andy now, is it?
I was going to say, this feels like Arzowane's asking some difficult questions, Jim, was exactly where I was going with that thought. The guard nicely positioned in that front line and really putting the pressure on.
Yeah, 4 guards in a row is pretty difficult to deal with.
Yeah. And
come round and crack that guy, but then how does he deal with the ogre? He can't realistically deal with the ogre.
Yeah, the troll slayer was able to deal with the ogre before, but now the ogre's surrounded by guard. There's no way of using it in the same way. Wow.
I'm not playing much Bashi team, but I always have the feeling, that guard is a very strong skill, but when the opponent has more guard, then it puts you in a difficult condition, because you want to follow your game plan using those guards, but it can backfire because he has more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got... well, they've both got equal guard, but it's that same thing that that we've talked about in this matchup and also in Andy's matchup yesterday. Once your guard is committed, especially on, even more so for Andy than for Arzowane, because these aren't agile pieces. Once it's in, and that's where it becomes a real. I mean, I suppose that's where the quote unquote chess mark part of Blood Bowl, chess game part of Blood Bowl comes in, because it's about calculating what your opponent's going to be able to do to move your guard and what you can do to trap theirs. But I do think Arzowane has taken a really strong position here. And you're seeing it because Andy is now being forced to dodge away. This is... Oh, he's not dodging the second one. I thought you would. It is 3+ on that. It's a dwarf blitzer. But didn't.
Yeah, that's... I mean, this is a 3 dice with
Yeah.
Mighty Blow that also, occupies the lineman as well. So I'd have really liked to have done the dodge, to be honest.
Yeah, surprised. Surprised that Andy didn't dodge there. Which maybe... maybe he just wanted to force one of those players to take an action. But it seems like that's not such a big cost to Arzowane because he's going to be able to get plenty of players, as we've seen in front, for a screen here. And he is, as Jimmy said, using the Ogre for a 3 dice of Mighty Blow. And just a knockdown. Snakes on the armor roll, in fact, but still. Now has the Blitz as well. I guess that will be... just a alignment. Can't see a better target. Just a push.
Yeah,
Pushes
pushing
away. Interesting.
Yeah, it was too easy to just punch the Ogre back, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do we need to back up the Troll Slayer here with the Mighty Blow piece to stop that Troll Slayer from getting up and back into the game? Doesn't back it up. I was thinking behind it. Goes instead to the right-hand side of it. Interesting.
If you go there, though, then you're exposing yourself, which is... you can't expose your tackle mighty.
Magos in chat saying with such a big bench was expecting more fouls from Arzowane. Well, we did see in the last game that big bench on humans can disappear quickly. They're just a funny team like that, aren't they? There's some games the armor seems fine, but some games armor 9+ everywhere can feel a bit too fragile. Certainly Andy has a couple of Mighty Blow to throw into it. But it's not just about the overall game position, it's about the drive position. And I suppose right now Arzowane is feeling, I mean, would you agree, Jimmy, right now Arzowane's feeling very good about his position in his drive?
Yeah, and there's I mean, he should be feeling pretty good, yeah. 10 versus 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, I think, so this is what I think. I think if the foul, there's the positional cost for the foul as well, right? So I think if he had an 11th player, and that wasn't a thick skull player, the Troll Slayer, then putting a foul in there is okay, right? 2 assists. And, that's a pretty decent foul, the 2 assist foul there, if he had the spare player, but he didn't have the spare player, and it's a thick skull, so it's just hard to get the fouls in, right? You're trying to defend versus AndyDavo, so that's not easy. So, most of your players trying to do that.
Certainly isn't.
I see Crystal Hunter that just joined in the chat, probably analyzing the player he will face tomorrow. Either it will be for the grand final, either for the third place match, but he will play both of them.
That is true. Crystal Hunter, who won the quarterfinal against Olivier Dulac yesterday. Congratulations again, Crystal Hunter. Will be playing one of these two coaches, whatever happens, because they will have loser into the 3rd and 4th game, winner into the final, and likewise for Crystal Hunter in his game against Purple Chest. He either wins and goes into the final or goes to the 3rd, 4th game. The 3rd, 4th game, of course, none of these coaches want to be in a 3rd, 4th game, but there will still be a small matter of an extra €400 on the line for finishing 3rd instead of 4th. So not nothing in that 3rd, 4th game. We'll certainly have some reasons to care about going after that and getting the win. As a reminder for anyone who's just joined as well, Crystal Hunter's game against Purple Chest, the 2nd semi-final, is tonight at 18:30 UTC. So that will be on this channel from 18:30 UTC. And for those of you who's been following the tournament all the way along, you will know that those two already played in the play-ins, and it was a pretty fun game. So I'm certain that's going to be another great semi-final after this one. Looks like Arzowane is going to get 2 dice on the ogre here. Or is that 2? Is it? No, yes, it is 2 because his ogre has got guard. Squeezing here. Squeezing the offense for Andy. We're not going to revive yesterday's terrible analogy about squeezing pips, but squeezing the offense one way or another. Putting the pressure on. And Andy, because we'll return to one of Jimmy's themes of the weekend. OWAR, what, Jimmy?
Slow.
That they are slow. And Andy, the longer this goes on, stuck here in really like a pretty surrounded position, this is getting harder and harder, isn't it, Jimmy?
It is, but he doesn't have to get that far forward, right? Like, this is the thing, he only has to get into strike range for the catcher, so he can afford to be a bit patient and a bit like bulldozery, just get up there with plenty of men around you, and you just don't have to get that far in, actually. But obviously, you'd rather be in, but then he got really deep last game, and then he got forward too far forward, had to score early. I mean, was pushed in early, but maybe he's reluctant to do that, going back to his normal route of just bashing around and trying to get a little bit in for the catcher. It means he is going to have to make it.
Double skulls on a loner. Will loner matter this time? Nope.
Why would he stop? He's walking all the time.
Absolutely incredible. Andy's loner rolls throughout this tournament. Who knows how he's getting away with it? Loner doesn't matter.
Wow.
Goodness me. That would have been a pretty scary spot as well if that had failed. It would have been really squeezed.
Yeah, that would have been... It hadn't done his safe moves first, hadn't stood up the Slayer, and then at least he realised after he did that that he should have done.
Yeah, there's Troll Slayer on the left-hand side, standing up immediately after that. Arzowane somewhere. Cursing the streamer dice for AndyDavo. Andy's team aren't ready for the new edition of OBS. They are optimizing the perfect blend of current edition with the armbar and the brawler and new edition with fake loner. So it's the beautiful synergy of the two. Wow. A little bit of breathing room for the OWA, although still not going anywhere this turn. Or are they? Maybe they are, okay. Sending at least one player through, creating that little bit of penetration in the defensive line.
Yeah. He had to do that. He's trying to cut off the Slayer getting punched by the mighty blow, isn't he?
Oh, yeah,
so
okay.
He had to do that.
I mean, right now that mighty blow can just dodge and hit the ball on one dice. Not now. Maybe still now if you wanted to.
He could.
He could if he wanted.
Yeah.
With a dodge.
Is that... How many rushes is it? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You can do it on 2 dice with a catcher. The catcher to the side can come through to assist.
Really? I don't hate it.
Well, he's already forgotten that. He's just going to blitz through and support the mighty blow.
That felt
this is the more sensible player.
Do you think so? Okay.
Yeah, this is like the safe, sensible play. That's a bit crazy doing the 3+ dodge, because if you fail it, if you fail that dodge away, you've got nothing in front of him whatsoever, and you're just asking to get scored on. But he could have, like, that catcher could have dodged through, or blocked with the ogre first, and then it could have just walked around, double rushed, and then you could have dodged and rushed and hit the ball on 2 dice, which could have worked.
And with tackle, not tackle doesn't matter, but with mighty bow as well, right? So not only are you hitting the ball down, a reasonable chance you might break armor on it as well. It becomes a pretty scary turn for Andy. But there's the rush in here. I'm assuming it's the reroll. Is the reroll?
Yeah.
Just a push. I don't know. Maybe it's the elf coach mindset, but I feel like it was at least worth a good think about. Arzowane made his decision pretty quickly. I'm certain he would have thought about it, but Arzowane actually being very efficient with his time bank.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
looked at his time bank, 7:30 still. He really could have afforded a little bit of a think about it.
Yeah. Because there is no overtime in this game. As we said, this game can be a draw, so can afford to have a think if he wants to. Will AndyDavo give us a third consecutive series of 3 games? Arzowane got his games done in 2 yesterday, so maybe that even matters. Maybe Arzowane's a bit less tired than Andy today, who knows? Although I'm pretty sure Andy had a good sleep last night. He didn't come down to breakfast too early, so I reckon he's well rested.
I think Arzowane's been very efficient actually in the knockout rounds. I think he's got through in 2 games every round so far. And he's had the 3-rounder versus J-Lee, didn't he? The 3-rounder versus Lemons. So. But then Andy's got the experience of last year, right, playing these quarters and semis and third place playoff, didn't he? So he's got that 3 games in a row, more than Arzowane. So
that's a great point, actually. That's a great point. Being back here for a second time, how much of an advantage does it give you for those third games? Because it is so unusual, as we've talked about yesterday. Just it's such a rare situation to be in as a Blood Bowler, having to do 3 high-intensity games like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Long think for Andy on this turn. Andy is taking his time bank.
And I think these 3 matches in a row, you only get it from the quarterfinals, because I give the player the option for the other round they play, before. They want to play it in a row, they can, but usually they just schedule it on different days.
That's true. There's nothing stopping coaches from choosing to do 3 games in a row if they
But I don't think any did.
Yeah, no, I don't think any did, yes. Most of them prefer to do it 1 game a night, don't they? So.
A few did one then the other one, didn't they?
Yeah.
But if it went to 3, they decided they gave themselves a break.
Yeah, or they did like the second and the third. They either did the first and the second together, or the second and the third together. I don't think anybody did all 3.
Could be nice training still, no?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, yeah. I mean, of course, yeah. You have to. The series has to go to 3 games, which is not that many of the series, but nice little chain there from Andy to make some extra space here to go through. Still not totally sure how safe it's going to be.
No.
Feels like you can't cover it from both sides. Yeah. This looks like, similar to last turn, there is a 2 dice here on the ball. In fact, easier than last turn.
Except instant this time. Yeah, instant this time.
Yeah. And...
double rush.
And it's in that chance column, as you were calling it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the one by the sideline. So scary turn for Andy, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Big moment in this series.
Do you know what? Speaking of Chun's column, what I don't like about that move is he could have assisted with the ogre, right? He could have tried to move the ogre, and the ogre could have assisted that block, and then that lineman could have cancelled the assist from the mighty blow tackler, so that then you could have moved the catcher to the other side, and then you could have actually pushed the thrower onto the sideline. Whereas now you're gonna have to hit the thrower in.
Well, he's burned the one on the ogre instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and you're exposing your catcher massively.
Yeah, that catcher's going to hit with that tackle mighty blow, which you don't really want. And there's another one. This must be a reroll. Is a reroll.
Get the pow.
Gets the pow. Doesn't go towards the sideline, of course, because he's got the guard where it is. So we're going to push back into the pitch. Big scatter. Oh, tough scatter, because you're either pushing close to the mighty blow tackle or you're pushing close to a catcher that can catch it. But gets the armor break. Oh, that's a good scatter for Arzowane. Bad scatter for Andy, I think.
Yeah.
You were talking about safe pair of hands before. I'm pretty sure you wanted that.
Yeah, see? Safe pair of hands, Jimmy. Such a doubter.
Look, I'm not saying, I've never said that skills are
Such an
completely
outer.
useless in all situations. It's just that those situations are so rare that,
Oh,
it.
I wasn't sure if he'd go for the pickup there.
I quite like the pickup. The payoff is like so big,
Yeah.
and the risk is so little. Like you've only got a tackle zone on it, so you're going to have a tackle zone on it if you fail the pickup as well. So now he's got two tackle zones
Yeah,
on it.
it's true.
He's actually,
Jimmy got cut off midpoint there, but I'm pretty sure what he was saying is that he meant absolutely that safe pair of hands is the worst skill and no one should take. I think that's what he was saying. I'm not certain. What do you
oh yeah,
do?
nobody should take it.
What would you do here if you're Andy? Do you try and scatter that ball and hope he goes somewhere better?
I mean, if I was Andy, I'd be looking to surf, obviously. That goes without saying.
You could do a double surf here, couldn't you? I think you could get the catcher and the guard one, maybe.
Very difficult, but I guess you
Okay,
could. You
yeah.
technically could. But incredibly, insanely difficult. I think
Yeah.
you've got to scratch all thoughts of that and try and do
Try to get the ball.
anything you can, I guess. Block, get your guard on that guy, blitz that guy, block that guy. Can you get 2 assists in? Maybe after 1 dice with a Slayer or 2 into uphill. I don't know.
Starts with a
But you should
pow.
be able to do.
Always a good place to start. And that gives, so we're not scattering from here. I thought there might be a scatter from here, but I guess doesn't have to because could just clear the one at the top.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing, isn't it? You've got players to free the top.
Yeah. The guard is making this harder, is the tricky bit. 'Cause
Yes,
there's-
but you've got 2, so you can do a 1D, right? You can make a 1D on the
Yeah.
blitzer, or you could 1D into uphill on the Slayer, and then that gives you the 2D, which then that means you've got the player down for your catcher to run through.
I think it's the 1D, isn't it? Because
They're both 1Ds. I think he'll do the Slayer. I think he'll do the Slayer.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I missed what you were saying. Okay, I see it. But the Slayer goes to a red dice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll do it though. Because it clears the guard, huh?
Doesn't goes to the bush.
The problem now is there's still there's just a screen, right?
Yeah. This
you
might be a
can't
potato
really-
and in Blodge we trust situation.
Yeah.
In goes the catcher, gets the ball. That's the first bit. And now you just got to go as far as you can, I guess. Andy has got 2 rerolls, so could rush it if he wants to. I'm not sure how much benefit there is, but it might be worth it. Oh, we're not going forward. Oh, okay. Maybe that's better. I was thinking.
Yeah, I think you've got to either
off to the top
stay or
right.
go to the right. Yeah, I think stay or go to the right was the right play.
Yeah, I assumed we were just going to the right and going as far as we could. But I can see that if you do that and your opponent does make the dodge and power you, then you've got no one else to pick it up. Whereas at least here, if it goes wrong, you've got other players who can pick it up. But it seems more easy for them to get. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not easier. It certainly has made it more easy to sort of muddy it up, right? To put things in front of it and make your score hard for next turn. So, interesting.
Yeah, you can push him out of range, can't you?
Yeah.
With like a 1 dice and then a 2 dice and then a 2 dice. You can get him out of range.
Yeah. Of course, that could have been an Ogre Blitz. Chose not to, but would have been 2 dice.
It was my question
Yeah.
actually, because he was then looking for an arrow, right?
Yeah.
To be, he will be outside of range, forcing a.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the problem is just if you take that Ogre Blitz, if you roll the 1 in 9, you just give them the score.
Yeah.
But
Or the 1 in 6.
or the 1 in 6.
The ogre activation, right?
Yeah. But that is probably the move that gave you the best success state, right? Because if you do hit it and get a POW, then you can even try to scatter it down and maybe run off with it. So There was an upside, but it was
I don't
definitely
know,
high
actually.
risk.
I like my plan, which I think Arzowane's going to
Ooh.
do. No, he's not. Okay.
Just hitting the ball, has 2 dice, doesn't get it, doesn't get it. So this is not pushing backwards either, so Andy will stay in range.
He can still push him back, probably.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Probably.
Like that.
Probably.
Is
It would have
this
been a lot
going
easier
to
if he'd done it my way.
chat? We know this is a tough turn because for the first time all game, Arzowane is going to spend some time bank. Arzowane has been very, very tight on his time bank, but finally this turn did have a good think and had to do it. Gets the knockdown here. I'm not seeing a pushback from here anymore.
No. He'd need to fill in 2 squares, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Which he hasn't done.
He
It's the
had to
one
start by
dice.
the 1D, yeah.
Yeah, this is a tricky one because I see why you want to do this hit because it gets that off your catcher, but also it does maybe put that tackle mighty blow somewhere it can do something. I'm not sure. Really, really messy situation on the board now. I do think it's been. I think Arzowane's played this half really well. I think he's been patient at the right times. He's taken his chance on the ball when he had the chance on the ball, but not the turn before when I would have gone for it because I'm less patient. So I think he's really played it well. Our Yeti, I think that's just a manner of expression, but we certainly aren't suggesting that when I'm using what are we doing here, I'm not suggesting that it's us making the choices for the coaches. I'm more asking the room. That's me asking Vitooc and Jimmy together, and I suppose asking myself sometimes as well, because I don't always have the answers, what we are all thinking as a group, rather than saying what are we making the decisions on the board, because I promise you that it is Andy off in a room somewhere doing his choices. And Arzowane, I don't know where Arzowane's doing. I assume Arzowane's playing in Spain. But he could be playing anywhere because he's playing online.
It's really easy solve this, by the way.
Yeah.
Super easy. Not a problem at all for Andy.
Yeah.
Like the thinking part, dice might fail him, but the thinking part is super easy.
Well, that power certainly helps. If there had been a push, would it have been harder?
And the push.
Well, if you push, you can use the Yeti, can't you? So actually it's not, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, you surf him if you...
Yeah, so actually the powers, yeah. So, yep, gets the chain push for the first square. And has this tackle mighty blow please to hit as well if he wants to. Yeah, very, very...
Definitely wants to.
It was a less complicated solve than we expected, but also still a nice solve from Andy.
Yeah, it puts in the reroll there because it saves the 1 in 9 there.
Yeah.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, nice solve. And after all that, it was a tough offense for Andy, but he solves it. And you have to say, Andy, in this whole tournament, Jimmy, I feel like I've seen coaches putting him in tough positions, and sometimes you look at it and think, did Andy make some mistakes that could have avoided those tough positions? But he keeps coming out of them. He keeps finding a way out of those spots.
Well,
Yeah, I think he's... Yeah. I think it's one of those where, like, I expect Andy to solve that quickly. You know, I think he's probably the best coach left in at this point. I think he's favourite to win it. I thought that, like, the start of the weekend with the top 8. I think he's my favourite to win. I think he is top notch. Well, I mean, they're all very good, of course, but I do think Andy's a smidgen ahead of everybody else. So yeah, I'd expect him to get these kind of things done.
Very,
very, very strong.
Very generous of Jim to say left in the competition. Of course, everyone knows he just means because I was in the play-ins earlier. I know, Jimmy, but I thought I'd give everyone else a chance. Yeah. Andy's absolutely. No one should be doubting Andy's credentials. We've talked about the fact that he is currently #1 ranked for ELO in tabletop, and he he shows up in these competitions. It's not an accident that he's been here in the finals weekend for 2 weeks in a row. But I do think Arzowane has done a lot of good stuff in this series, and I also think yesterday Le Marseillais gave some really, really great play as well. So he is playing against top coaches who are asking him tough questions. And Arzowane is still very much in this series and very much in this game because, of course, we will now see a one-turn touchdown attempt, which humans, like OWA, have 2 ways to do. They can do it with the catcher, Jimmy, and they can also do it with the halfling. Looking at Andy's setup, what is your plan if you are in Arzowane's shoes?
I would surely try the catcher, and I think Arzowane will as well, because what I noticed was that Arzowane and Andrew were both only setting up against the catcher one turn. They were completely disregarding the halfling toss, and they were only setting up against the catcher. So surely Arzowane will value the catcher touchdown more.
So we talked about on one of the games between Le Marseillais and Andy, we talked about why the close together line is less good for defending the one turn. You see Andy here has gone for the split line to not give that free advantage to Arzowane looking for the chain pushes. But he hasn't tried to do anything more complicated than that, Andy. He's just on the back line. And I think would it be fair to say that's at least partly because he knows that if you try to do a push denial one-turn defense, you just leave the halfling throw wide open?
Yes, yeah, that's the thing. They do have the dual threat. So if you only set up against the halfling, they can chain the catcher. If you only set up against the catcher, then they can throw the halfling. So you've got to do kind of a halfway house like this, where you have the back line, the full back line, which that's decent actually, right? A split LOS and a full back line is decent versus an agility 3 one turn, and then it's not terrible against the halfling throw. At least it does something against it, and the halfling throw is worse generally. So people want to try for the catcher if they can.
I think it's like super. There's always like super interesting like little details as well, right? Because if you were setting up against a slower team, for instance, you might want to still do this line but have it a bit further forward, because ideally you'd like that line to be in a row where the halfling might land, because you want to make the landing roll harder. But if you bring that line forward, then if it is a halfling throw, you might choose to spend a blitz just punching a hole in it. So there's layers to one-turn defenses, and always.
If you want to disturb the landing, where will you set up the line? Will it be around here?
I mean, Jimmy, I think you have like a graphic, don't you, of the ideal setup for throw teammate one-turn defense somewhere I've seen.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So what would it be if there was no catcher one-turn? What would be the ideal halfling throw one-turn defense?
Oh, that's harder if there's no catcher. Then you need to like set up like a net. But if you're just going to like make a line like this, I think it's actually on the kickoff line, right? The sweet spot.
So on the logo line where you can see the logo on the pitch.
Yeah. So here,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it is a -1 modifier for every tackle zone a halfling lands in, so makes a big difference. And of course, if they land on a player, then they are not going to be able to do it at all. Speaking of punching a hole in the line, the officious ref has made one for Arzowane, which matters more if it's a catcher one turn than if it's a halfling throw one turn, actually. I suppose it saves dodges either way. So the ball is...
It's 1 square behind. Sorry, it's 1 square behind the logo.
1 square behind. There you go. Because this has been mathed out, hasn't it? This has been calculated. The problem for Arzowane here is he's got no rerolls. So, and also the other thing worth saying, because we talked about it when Andy chose to do a halfling one turn over a catcher one turn against the Marseillais, you might also make the calculation of you'd rather do the halfling one turn here to keep your catchers from getting hurt, because the reality is there's a very good chance you fail the one turn and you don't want to roll an armor and injury roll on your catchers. So there is also that calculation. You're less worried about losing the halfling because the halfling you weren't planning to put on offense anyway. So
that is true, yeah.
We did talk about that yesterday with Andy. It's more true for OWA because they've only got one catcher, but I think it's still true for humans. They'd rather not lose a catcher here if they can avoid it. So
Yeah. Fail.
fails the pickup, so we're not getting any of it. That's a short story, that one turn attempt. And now Andy, now Jimmy, Andy is in the driving seat for this series. If he can make a successful defence, he is through to the final. So lots of pressure on Arzowane. Arzowane knows he has to score or he's not going to win this World Championship.
Yes, yeah, Andy can't really lose this game, can he? He's basically free rolling at this point. He basically can't lose it. Like Arzowane, basically, he's going to try to win this game now. He's just going to try and draw it. But it's kind of on serve, if you like, right? It's as you'd expect. Andy scored on his drive, and Arzowane will expect to score on his drive. But he might have to score early, and he might not score at all. It's not a done deal by any means, is it? He won't feel. I don't think he'll feel bad at all, really, or really too much under pressure. I just think he'll think, oh, well, my chance to win's gone. I'll get the draw and we'll go to game 3. And, it's not as easy as that. But I think you're going to be, you've got to think you're going to get to game 3, right? You can't think you're going to lose. So just, play it properly and play well, and hopefully you get a bit of dice and make a few removals and make it easy. He does have the halfling on the pitch, doesn't he? And
Yes.
He has to field the half.
Yeah, that observation was made in chat and is correct. Because of that KO on the line from the blocking, Andy is down to his last 11 players, which means that the halfling's on the pitch. So more chances for halfling heroics, chat.
And no damage at all, actually, on Arzowane's team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From last game where everything was dead, he's actually, he probably should have made a foul or two on defense, it turns out. But really hard call to do that because it is the positional cost with a fouling. It's not just the, if you get sent off, it's you've got to give up on your defense a bit to get fouls in. And a lot of these players are dwarves that you really don't want to foul anyway. So he'll feel a bit bad that he's got a resource he didn't use, won't he?
What do you think of this deep setup from Andy Jim? It's not way deep, but it is more than one line behind the line of scrimmage. There's a double line gap. Seems further back than I would expect. Well, he'll get to rearrange it. If he
I guess he was really scared of Mighty hitting the halfling, right, or the catcher. So I guess he thought if he goes for the further back he goes, that just it's not a thing that he can do. And he might not even think it's a good idea for him to do it, right? But the thing is, if he could do it, he could do it, So even if it's not going to pay off in the long run, it could still pay off in this game. So even if you think it's not a great decision to do that, your opponent could still do it because they could still think, I've got to get lucky to win. It's possible.
And now he's looking at where the tackle mighty bow is starting the turn, and he knows it's not going to have such an easy time to come around to the catcher. Yeah, I think you have, as usual, Jim. You've nailed the reason there, haven't you? That's exactly what he's looked at, and he's been protecting that catcher. However, I can't agree with Jimmy when he says he won't be feeling any pressure. I don't know about you, chat. I am nervous just watching this, let alone if I was playing in a semi-final, knowing that failure to convert my offense meant going out of the competition. I think this is a very, very high-stakes drive for Arzowane. And if it was me, I'd be feeling pretty anxious, but that's probably why it's not me and why it is Arzowane. Keeping their nerves under control is a big part of what is making some of these coaches such good coaches. Andy thought about sticking a couple of players on the left side of the line and then thought better of it. Didn't want to give up those extra hits on any of his players there. So doesn't use a solid defence to deny hits, just uses it to create a bit of different shape on the right-hand side while still protecting the players he wants to protect.
And yeah, so when I said no, I didn't mean no pressure. But the point is, he's just having to do a normal thing. He's not having to do anything unusual. The pressure is if he had to, like Andy was under last game, right? Where like he had to make the stop to stay in, or force him to score early, then have to make the counter score and stuff like things like that are real pressure. This he's not having to do anything unusual. He just has to get his drive done, and so like that's what you've got to do every game, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Like so it's fine. He'll be fine.
I know, I'm just trying to create a bit of drama here. We've got people at home watching, they're watching the semi-finals of the World Championship. It's getting to the business end, guys. We are going to see one of these two players in the final tomorrow, which is what we've been building this all up towards. So both of them will know how hard they worked to get here. Both of them will know how many games they had to win to get here, because of course it doesn't start with the World Championship. It starts with whichever qualifying tournament you've come through and having to get through that. And some pretty good players have not qualified for this World Championship, so it is never a foregone conclusion for any of these players getting in. You have to earn it. Having earned the way to the semi-final, I know that these two coaches will be absolutely wanting to take their chance to go all the way. It's being asked in chat, so I will remind everyone it is currently 1-1 in the series. The first game was a draw, and it is 1-0 to AndyDavo in this game. We have Andy in blue and Arzowane in red for this game on the Old World Alliance and Humans, respectively. Yeah. And the winner will be playing against either Purple Chest on Dark Elves or Crystal Hunter on Skaven. That game is at 18:30 UTC. That series begins. We have got so much good stuff coming up for you in this stream, by the way, chat. We have also got, later on today, we're going to hear from Vitooc, who's with me in the studio, is going to give us an update on Season 11 of Blood Bowl 3, give us some clues about what's coming in next season, which starts very, very soon, just a few days, in fact. And we're also tomorrow going to get an update on Warhammer Blood Bowl, the next edition of the online Blood Bowl game. So lots to come in these streams, as well as the climax of the competition. And having said all that, back to this game we're looking at right now. We are in the classic opening stage of these drives, which have looked mostly pretty similar, other than does someone get an early removal? And so far in this one, there has not been an early removal.
No. The solid defense did stop Arzowane's blitz, right? He didn't get to blitz anybody in the first turn. So he got a decent payoff there, Andy, but now he stood this guy up straight into the mighty blow, which he won't be overjoyed about.
Absolutely not. Packners asked the question, why does Arzowane like to carry on the strength 2 so much? And I think the short answer to that is movement 8. Jimmy, I don't know if you'd like to expand on that, or if you're... I mean, you spoke earlier about the fact that actually you think you would start the drive carrying on the thrower rather than the catcher. But that is the reason to carry on the catcher, isn't it? Because movement 8 is pretty nice.
Yes. Movement 8 and block and dodge. Fantastic things to have. That's what you want. Movement is the most important thing for a carrier. Like, absolutely, movement is the best thing. But with the throwing, just secures the ball more. It secure the ball, the new action. Funny enough, with secure the ball, the catcher picking up with 2+ is great. It's more investment to pick up on that guy and hand it off. And it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to make rolls that I don't have to make. Ultimately, if I would. But if it is better to, without using the reroll, it's better to pick it up and then hand it off if you want it on the catcher. So it is the mathematically correct choice if you want the ball on the catcher. It's just that I think it's worth the less chance of failure to get it on the worst player, and you can always hand off later if you have to, right?
Nice turn of blocks for Arzowane there. Didn't get a removal, but did knock down everything he wanted to and got the dodge away off the ogre. So I would say the offense looking pretty stable here. We have the shape that Vitooc was asking about on an earlier drive, and which we talked about a bit yesterday. If you see, the ball carrier at the front is protected by 2 layers of screen. There is a screen in front of him, but even if Andy blitzes through that screen, unless he goes all the way around the outside on the left, he's not going to be basing the ball carrier. So very well protected ball here at the start of the drive. And this time, unlike last time, when perhaps it caught him out a little bit, Arzowane has brought the ball forwards early. last game we saw Arzowane left that ball really far back for a long time on his drive, and maybe in the end came to regret it. Even though he was ultimately able to score, he got forced to score a bit earlier than he wanted to. So, yeah, could be that was because the drive got in a mess from the ball not being forward sooner.
It's quite a different situation for Misspelled because it was 1-1 after half time last match, wasn't it?
Yes. Arzowane was playing with an advantage last game, in effect, because it was 1-1 with the ball in hand, whereas here he can't afford not to score.
More pressure for this game probably because in this current condition he's just out.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I think I can only speak for myself. I think if this was me in his shoes, I would be feeling very differently at this point of this game than if it had been 1-0 in the previous game. I think this one feels like you know that if you don't get it in, it's the end of the line, and that's scary. Bonehead from the ogre for Andy.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Does that mean that Arzowane looks to that right side of the line now, or?
You can go either way, right? This deepest lineman can run up to the thrower and you can blitz the thrower and get everybody past the thrower. But also because Andy only got one knockdown in the AV break, the 1 in 9, you can actually just fully knock down not knock down, but he can fully engage the LOS here, like with a blitz and 2 blocks. You can kind of dominate the LOS again. So tricky choice. I wouldn't go to the right, but you could definitely, win the middle. Rather than going through the thrower. It doesn't have to go through the thrower.
So Packers, who asked the question about carrying on the catch to begin with, says he thinks maybe it could be limiting to not have the ball in the thrower because having the ball in the thrower means that you could distribute it to either catcher, of course, on a 2+ pass, which means you could have threat on both sides at the same time. And I think that's like a super worthwhile thought to come back on, Jim, because I think that's like a strategy that you certainly can take and that I think would lend itself much better to elves with the 2+ catching. But in the end, at this high level of World Championship play, I think you'd say that almost all coaches are just thinking about trying to minimize failure states with the ball. They just don't want to have to throw the ball or hand it off ever because any dice rolls are a chance to turn over.
Yes, yeah. The problem is when your ball carrier gets based, right, and then you don't want to dodge off. You want to blitz them off, and the thrower really can't dodge off. At least the catcher can dodge off if he has to. But also, if your thrower had it and he was next to a catcher, he could hand off to a catcher. So I feel like it's not that bad to get your thrower based, and I would generally just I wouldn't want to make this roll, but I mean, it is better to have it on a catcher, right? He's movement 8 with dodge. It just is better to have it on him. And so it makes sense to make rolls when you have the chance and there's no real punishment for failing them. So I completely get it, but I'd still feel like, if I could pick it up, then fail the handoff, then pick it up, fail the pickup, and then I could fail the pickup again and just lose, that's the sort of thing that I think about. Whereas Arzowane's thinking of, I'll make a 79% roll or whatever and get it on the catcher.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that I think actually lots of people find, I suppose, a dynamic of Blood Bowl that people who enjoy the high octane passing plays almost find a bit of a shame about the high level of Blood Bowl is that passing plays are really fun, but they're very rarely right because every time you do a passing play, you're adding in an extra dice roll, and the reality of this kind of Blood Bowl, this very competitive kind of Blood Bowl, is that you are so often, your number one priority is just minimizing failure states, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we saw funny enough. Oh my God, there's a 1 in 9. 181, sorry. Yeah, didn't activate, didn't do the safe moves first of the over. Stay stupid.
This is definitely a turn to go forward on the right, isn't it? This is definitely a turn to take that space. And this is a great example of why having the ball on movement 8 is great. If this ball is on a thrower, then you have to transfer it, and that's a dice roll, whereas because it's on a catcher, you probably don't have to roll a dice to move it forward here, which is going to be very welcome.
So we don't even have loner, or he kind of failed the loner here.
Yes. So Andy's loners, absolutely fine at rolling rerolls, but Andy's not loners. Sadly, Aldi there, not so hot. However,
Turn 12, I think he's got to come through here.
yeah, Arzowane's Ogre has also gone Bonehead, which I'm sure he won't be thrilled about, but I think you can go through here regardless, can't you? Still have the blitz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could even try just see if you get lucky punching the catcher blitz. Could do.
It's tricky to hit the catcher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Double rush. Maybe though. Maybe you just double rush and hit the catcher.
Oh, you're thinking with the tackle mighty, but I was thinking of just doing it with a regular blitzer, which doesn't need any.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah,
brushes,
I don't even want to tackle my yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Andy's ogre being confused here is probably an opportunity you want to take as well, right?
Yeah, it's huge. That's what I think Jimmy was just saying. Like, if Andy had at least tried to activate that first, this gap wouldn't be there. But because he didn't, that's left a huge gap. So a mistake by Andy, perhaps. A mistake by Andy that might get punished.
Yeah.
It might be that he had a plan for that ogre that he thought he wanted to do after that block. So there are always other things they're thinking about, but in this case, certainly has left a gap. We're not going for the catcher. Arzowane not risking those rushes, just taking the safe blitz on.
Yeah.
Is there a reason the ball didn't move first? I suppose is having just said to Andy that Andy could have taken his activation.
It doesn't impact where the ball could go. He's going to rush with it. At the end of the day, he's going to rush with it. So he wants to get everything.
Oh, he
else
is going to
done
rush
first
with it.
before
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking if you're
maybe
not
he's
rushing.
Maybe he's not.
Because if you're not rushing with it, then you might as well move it first, right? But if you are, then.
I thought he was going to rush, but yeah, I guess he's not. Interesting.
No rush.
So yeah, so you should have just moved them first. Yeah, if you're not going to rush, then you should move them first. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Blood Bowl not seen it, and I'm not completely hating it. A 4+ ogre dodge here gives you 3 dice on the ball. It's not out of the question. You can set your screen first. Okay, now it's 2 dice on the ball, not
2
3.
dice.
It was 3 dice, but now it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. He wasn't gonna. He was always gonna put that there.
Yeah.
Andy's loner.
You could also. Yeah, oh God, yeah, that's great, isn't it? You know, this is the great thing. With an Andy team, none of your players actually have loner, so you can do this quite easily.
Can I point out one other thing, which is another interesting twist on the questions Pat Knez has been asking about carrying on the catcher. Arzowane needs to be really careful with his guard positioning here, which he has been, because on any given turn, that halfling can dodge in on a 3+ and 1 dice catcher. If it's in range, which it actually isn't right now, but in general, like that strength 2 thing could be a vulnerability, in fact, because the halfling's on.
Could be, but yeah, this is the real vulnerability here.
Tackle Mighty Bow hits the guard catcher. Scary one for Arzowane. Is it going to be a bad one? It's an armor break. It's a KO, which I imagine gets the Apo. Give me our on turn 12. So yes, it does get the Apo. Very quick blitz there for Andy. He saw that catcher, looked at his tackle Mighty Bow, and you can imagine the eyes getting wide.
Can you give me the reason why he did not follow here? Because I feel like having the tackle, the catcher would have feel good, no?
I think that's a good question. I would guess the answer is if you follow, it's definitely getting blitzed. But I don't know, Jimmy, if you have a different thought on that.
Yes, that's as simple as it is, right? You can't actually support it with another player, so it's just giving your opponent a free assist to blitz him. Like that's literally all it's doing. Like, yeah, okay, there's a chance that you won an 81 when you blitz him and you don't move him and stuff, but the chance of not moving him is so low that like just giving him that assist and like, yeah, you're controlling the blitz. There's some upside in controlling the blitz, but that's all it's doing. So it's mostly just getting tackle. And if your tackle mighty goes down on that blitz, then he's not going to come back to hit catcher next turn and stuff, right? So that's really all it is. But I mean, he's probably going to blitz the catcher and punch the tackle mighty anyway, isn't he? So interesting.
Magos also saying in chat, last game we based the mighty blow got removed instantly. I don't know if it was even based that time, was it? It was just allowed to be hit, and it did go back instantly. I do think Andy is, in general, does try to protect that. But yeah, this does not look like a safe stall, does it, Jimmy? Like the path forward is clear, but there's some work to do to make this into a well, I think stall for next turn is fine. I'm thinking it's not easy to make this a turn 16 stall, is what I mean to say.
I think it depends on how the hits work, right? If you power this catcher, remove it. If you power the mighty blow, remove him. All of a sudden, it's a pretty easy stall. So I think we've got to see how the hits go before.
Big turn of dice.
Yeah.
So against two.
That's interesting. I guess he's going to block.
So we're not moving forward. Interesting. Doesn't want to get forced in early. And now do we blitz the tackle mighty blow?
Seems like it.
Yeah. Gets the pow.
Interesting direction as well. Like you would have thought he would have blitzed from down, right? So he'd have trapped the mighty line.
I was
Very
just
strange.
thinking that. Although now I wonder if you follow into that space and you know, okay, yeah, of course you can't because the catch is not covered at the top. I don't know what that was reasoning for, but that's a very nice one dice power. So you called it, Jimmy. It's going to depend how these dice roll. Rolling pretty nicely here for Arzowane on a big turn.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, do you even do the ogre? And the answer is no.
No.
So in fact, because of that, you kind of have managed to mark the mighty blow on the floor because you got the one dice power.
Yes, he can free him though because these other dwarves aren't really doing a whole lot, and the other human isn't doing a whole lot. So the halfling isn't doing a whole lot. So really, your blitz is going to free your blitz. Like the dwarf blitzer is probably going to free the human blitzer.
I think this was one of those turns where you really see the experience of the players as well, though, because it wasn't like a showy turn. I'm not saying it was even necessarily like a hard turn, but I think it was a very patient turn from Arzowane, and I think that in those situations like that one there is an instinct just to rush forward and go close to the end zone, isn't there? There is an instinct to move forward. And I think a lot of people looking at the board would have gone, well, I'm going to go forward and be next to the end zone for next turn. And he hasn't done that at all. He's held his position and he's kept it quite safe. And he's still in pretty comfortable scoring range, right? Like if he wants to score in next turn, he's one rush away. So he didn't need to move forward there, and that's just experience in being calm. Ball not in stalling range, Niagara. Technically, under the new stalling rules, this would be not in a stall because it does require a dice to roll to score. So close to stalling range, but not quite. But yes.
Arzowane getting used to the new rules.
Yeah, getting used to the new rules.
It feels like also that Andy's core team with the dwarf and so on, they are so far that actually he has one more turn, I would say, before they could be into play or something like that. So he has time, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But now Andy is moving some things in front, so going to make it more complicated. Well, we are either very close to the end of this series or we are heading for a third game. We don't know. It is this.
Oh, and he's going to blitz this blitzer and then chain out the ogre. No, he's not. Wow. Wow. When he put that lineman in, I figured that's what the plan was. Could have been a 3 dice blitz right from the tackle 90. And then that would have freed then he could have chained the ogre back, and then that could have let him move the blitzer in. But interesting.
Wow, the tackle mighty is up. It is taking a blitz. And it's not breaking armor.
Not a fan of that because that lineman could have got a bit further. Then I'm not a fan of the way he's done that. I guess he's trapped those guys in a bit more, but. Interesting.
So, big turn for Arzowane, because you want to turn this into not just one more turn, you want to turn this into 2 more turns before you score, turn 14. What are you looking at, Jim? Are you looking at space? Are you looking at staying where you are again? What are you looking at here on the board?
I think I'm looking at staying where I am and, freeing my tackle for next turn.
Yeah.
And,
we're definitely not going forward. We're coming backwards.
Yeah.
Now that coming backwards feels very uncomfortable. Because now that is next to you regardless.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I've got to say.
I'm confused by that one. I don't know what the benefit was. You didn't need the assist because you still had the other catcher first. I'm not sure what the reason was on that one.
No.
That is a both down with the ogre. Oh boy. Oof. Do you trust your loners? If he rolls loner and fails it after Andy made all of his, rolls loner and makes it. Loner is fake. This just in. Don't even worry about loner.
I feel like I never re-roll a loner, but I will change my mind.
Everyone watching this going, I just always roll loner from now on.
Ooh, nice done. Stand up your line, or foul. That's why I moved that guy there. There was still no need to move it there first, though. Oh, you get sent off.
So we talked at the beginning of game 1 about the fact that Arzowane with his numbers might do some fouling. It is in fact taken until turn 14 of game 2 to see our first foul.
Did not go well.
It's the highest payoff, isn't it?
Yeah. It didn't go well, but I suppose to some extent it did what it needed to, because actually the numbers aren't as important anymore. It's turn 14, and just making sure that piece isn't acting is what needed to happen.
Yeah, now his tackle is free. He can blitz the catcher or the halfling next turn.
Yeah.
And, probably, AV break them and probably get other things forward as well.
Yeah. Loner OP. People are now trying to argue for Loner is the best skill in the game. Listen, armbar is the best skill in the game. I'll accept a discussion between Loner and maybe safe pair of hands for the second best.
I would rather have safe pair of hands than Loner, to be fair.
Oh my goodness. A lot of players losing Loner in the new edition. There's going to be a lot more big guys without Loner running around. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be, if you choose the tree man, there's going to be no OWA players with Loner on your team. So it's going to have a very different feel, the new edition, for stuff like that. So it will be very interesting.
This is very interesting, isn't it? How the hell does Andy deal with this? That ogre being stuck there is pretty great now.
Yeah.
And he's got a bit of a screen, but it's not ideal.
Well, looks like we're starting off building an elf screen. I think we may be blitzing the ogre because I'm only saying that because we haven't blitzed with attack a mighty bow, and generally Andy likes to blitz with his mighty bow, so that makes me think the ogre's blitzing to get into better position.
Oh, this is...
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that puts him to assist over there, so he can 2-dice the ogre and then free the other guy. No, it doesn't. Errata.
I think this is just about making it an uncomfortable turn for Arzowane next turn, isn't it? Now you've got 2 players stuck on... Brawler!
Guess
oh
what?
my goodness!
Guess what?
A Brawler 1 dice! Brawler has not missed for the entire tournament. Loner does not miss for the entire tournament. What are these skills? Unbelievable.
Okay, great dice for Andy that turn. That was...
Yeah, I think that Brawler in particular has completely changed the board, hasn't it? That going down compared to that, getting the full power like that, has completely increased the number of players that Arzowane has to deal with by a huge number, and now it's a really tough turn 15.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's why I thought he could assist with the ogre, right? Because that block was so important, and the fact that he just relied on a 1 dice with Brawler.
Well, that's because he's been seeing how that Brawler rolls, Jimmy. That's the elite streamer skills of knowing you can just Trust your streamer dice when you need to. Even when he's not on his own
Yeah.
stream, he knows.
You might just have to score here.
Well, you say that as if that's automatic. There's not a clear path to score here, is there?
You can jump over, can't you? So it's like
Okay,
a
yeah, jump over. But he's not going to do that. It looks like we're switching back to the left here. Which we have got some players here on the left.
Yeah.
Ogre won't get up. Which definitely doesn't help. But you could hand off to the blitzer here, and then I don't know if you've got enough to screen it, is the problem. Okay, we're not doing that. Blitzer's going to the screen.
I forgot the ball before.
Yeah. Maybe this is okay. The cat just catches
Do you
the
give it
pass.
to the other catcher? Or something? Oh, no, it's marked actually.
One rush gets this past your screen. It's not that far.
He can just move over there, right? With
Yeah.
The catcher can just walk.
Maybe this wasn't as bad as we thought. Maybe this is okay.
You rush.
Double
them?
rush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, double rush.
Double. or
Double?
single?
Or just do the one and then dodge.
Yeah.
But you need him to cover. Oh, no, yeah.
Does a double?
Was it double? It was
You have to
double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I'm surprised the last blitzer went there first because I would have wanted. Yeah, he had to make that dodge now. Okay.
This, I guess it's okay. The trolls there could hit it, though, on a one dice.
This is so not okay. By the way,
Yeah.
this screen is so not okay.
You can still dodge the blitzer, but I'm surprised that isn't. Yeah, I thought that'd be a square to the right. I'm confused about why that's where it is, to be honest. I don't see the benefit of being there.
Still
compared to
can
what's
rush
square to
back
the
because
right.
he hasn't done anything yet. So
could.
he may be thinking about it.
Honestly, I think maybe he should, but maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
reason. Oh, he's gone back. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And he has to dodge it. He has to dodge a block with this lineman. So if he'd failed that, he really had to make that dodge. Yeah. Okay. Now the block is perfect. Makes it safe.
Well, we just said a good turn for Andy, but actually that wasn't crazy nice, and they all worked for Arzowane. Don't think you need this anymore. Don't think it's a must reroll, but does reroll it. So rerolls it and fails it.
Yeah, the chance of you needing 2 rerolls on the last turn is really low, right? So I guess
Yeah.
he just thought.
Chain
save
is
one reroll.
still on. Jimmy, tell us the chain, because apparently there's a chain still on.
Oh god, yeah, the chain is still on, yeah, and so he punches with that dude, the brawler fella punches, chains the other brawler onto the screen.
Yep,
and
I'm
punches.
seeing it.
And then,
Are you seeing it, Vitooc? Vitooc's got the controls of the thing. Can you see what Jimmy's talking about? So the brawler on the right hand side, the dwarf lineman. Is that right, Jimmy? Is that what you were talking about?
yes, yeah,
Yeah, next to the thrower as well.
You mean talking about this
Yeah,
one?
that one. Yeah. So if you push down onto there, you create a chain using the. Well, you have to fill the squares, but you could create a chain using the. If you fill the squares from there, either side of the guard blitzer. So you're blocking down to the left.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Other way. Blocking down to the one, so the lineman's got a player it can block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not following you during the time, so
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I see what I mean.
And then,
so he should have followed, right? Like I can't believe he didn't follow. Like I guess Arzowane didn't see that, and I guess Andy hasn't seen
seen it either. There you go. There you go, chat. We say this all the time. We've said it today. I'll say it again. It is so much harder to spot this stuff when you're playing than it is when you are sat watching. So Andy has not gone for it. Or Andy might have decided this is better. That's also possible.
I very much doubt it. I feel like hitting, blasting the ball on 2 dice with tackle is really good.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. Oh, wait, it was a tackle. Oh, God, it's a tackle at the end of the chain as well. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you open up and then, yeah, of course, yeah, you're right. However, I suppose what we can say is this is still going to be some dice to roll. And they don't look like totally straightforward dice either.
No, Arzowane's probably wishing he kept both rerolls for it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, is this the end of the first semi-final? If Andy wins, it is the end of the series. And oh, Alona reroll. Sorry.
No.
I
Maybe
mean,
not. He might keep his rerolls for the one
oh,
turn.
keep it for the one turn. Yeah, could do. Having a think about it. Does reroll it. And Alona worked again.
Yeah.
But then he failed the next rush. Oh my god.
6 on the Lona. 6 then 1.
It has to fail at some point, but it hasn't. So just the one reroll for Andy's one turn if it comes to it. But yes, if Arzowane does not score here, then Andy is going to the final of the World Championship. Must score this turn. And even if he does score this turn, he knows Andy will still get a try at a one turn. So definitely into the scariest part for Arzowane here. He has got 2 minutes of time bank, which is plenty. But he has got problems to solve for certain. Jimmy, I don't even know what the solve is here. You could dodge the guard at the top and one dice through.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something better. I don't know.
No, that's the instant solve, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
your instant solve. Dodge there and then one dice through.
So-
Dodge if necessary. At least you're away from the tackle after the 1D. And then it's a struggle to find anything better than that, to be honest.
Yeah, but Andy's guard
good
piece
turn
on the
from
right-hand
Andy.
side is making things a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that
This
or 4+ dodging with the catcher at the bottom, but that feels rough. Yeah, I really,
feels
if I'm Arzowane, I really wish I had that reroll back, I have to say.
yeah, right.
It's funny how we weren't sure at the time, but it does feel now really, 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 really big, doesn't it? Wow. Wow. Again, he's got time. You might as well use this time bank, because this is the turn that could decide if you are out of the final. Goes for the dodge at last and does need a reroll for it. Makes it, so we're not out yet. One dice block is a push, which means this is now 4+ dodge off tackle. No, because we can hit the
No, you
tackle.
get 2 dice. And
Yeah,
get
you can
2
do that.
dice. Yeah.
Yeah,
The pow.
yeah, gets the power. No dodge. Will
powers
score.
in.
Will score.
Yep, there's no
Well
rush. Yep.
done, Arzowane, just by the skin of his teeth. By the skin of his teeth, Arzowane gets the score. And so now, we are now on course for a third game in this series, unless Andy gets his one turn. And now it is time to ask, does Andy wish he'd kept his reroll? He has one.
Both
he
of
could have
them,
had
right?
two.
That's one, he did not
Yeah.
invest the second one, right?
Yeah, he didn't use the
Oh,
second
he didn't
one.
use the second one.
Yeah, he didn't use the second one. So
Yeah, so Arzowane only sets up against the catcher, which I think is wrong, honestly. He only sets up versus the catcher. He just does the push denial.
wow, no fear of the halfling.
Yeah, I think
What
this is wrong.
a moment it would be if Andy gets a second win in these World Championships with halflings. Andy, stunty hater Davo. Andy, the most opposed to stunties. If he does it for a second time, oh my goodness. Chat is ready. Chat is so ready to see a halfling fly.
Because with a defense like that, I mean, you don't even consider the catcher one turn, right? You just go for the halfling.
I mean, you definitely can do a catcher one turn in this setup. It's just that the halfling, I think, is probably just much more likely at that point, isn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah. This is making the catcher one turn so hard that it's not even worth the mental energy to consider it, right? The halfling one is so much easier. Do you know what it is? Well, he puts the tackle on here on the end to like make it harder for if you do the catcher pushes, then you end up on the tackle guy, and it just he lost the tackle knight in one game doing that versus Andre, and it's a really risky thing. He really just goes all in against the catcher. And, I think it could be a mistake.
Absolutely. This is all in, as Jimmy says, stopping the catcher. Of course, the thing with the halfling 110 is if the ball goes deep, as someone's just said in chat, Mr. Greedy, if the ball goes deep, then you can't do the halfling 110 because you cannot, in this edition, you cannot pass the ball and throw a halfling in the same turn. I'm not certain that's true anymore in the new edition, is it, Jimmy?
No, yeah, and it gets a lot better the 110, especially funnily enough. I think that might be why they made the human throw a 3+ passing ability, because if you especially for like Skaven, not Skaven, but Underworld, they get the 2+ passer, right? So they can pass it and then throw it, but of course they've got the gutter runner as well. But it's just another thing, right? If something happens, if you don't get the pushes for whatever reason, and like. You could just take +PA, couldn't you, on a human team, and then you can, I don't know, a cannoneer or whatever, right? You can just lob it straight to the halfling and then lob the halfling. So, yeah, really, really huge buff for throw teammate and, non-gutter runner 1-turns.
I think it's going to be a much more 1-turn friendly edition in general. Between the hit and run access for different players, I think it's going to change the dynamic a little bit, and I wonder even if that was intended, because it's almost a counter to 2-1 grinds, isn't it, if 1 turns are stronger? But we'll find out when we get to the new edition. For now, we are right here with AndyDavo, trying to go to the final of the World Championships with an old-fashioned halfling 1-turn. Now, I would say that a calculation you might make here, if you are Arzowane under normal circumstances, is that the halfling 1-turn requires your ogre to activate on a 2+ and to make a throw on a 3+. Now, both of those are loner rolls. However, because you are playing Andy in this World Championship, doesn't matter that it's got loner, does it? So, could be the moment that we see once again the loner.
Could it be betrayal by loner
in
the most critical moment?
Yeah, it's one or the other, isn't it? Will loner continue or will it betray? It's a deep kick. I think it might be impossible. That looks like a deep kick. How deep is it?
Ooh.
Oh, that's definitely not possible to do a halfing throw.
Yeah, it's not possible. It's just not possible.
We've explained why it's not possible, and Andy has put his catcher back for the retrieval, so there is no 1-turn. We are going to game 3. Wow.
Brilliant play by Arzowane. I always knew just defending against the human catcher was the best play.
Yeah. I guess he's considering if he can do something, but he might just, it's the end of the match.
Yeah, but the problem is because he put the catcher back and even the blitzer back, which is movement 7, there's just not a fast player close to the line to do it. I wonder if, because I don't know if we saw, I wonder if Arzowane cheated away from the centre circle. So when you position your kick, you can most people choose to aim for the centre square because that way you have the slowest chance for a touchback. But I wonder if he pushed it a square or 2 further, hoping for that deep kick, but taking the risk of a touchback. Who knows? We will never know. What we do know, Jimmy, is that we're getting, for the 3rd time in a row, a 3rd game in an AndyDavo series. He does not do them in 2 games, he always does them in 3.
Yeah, and it's kind of what all the lines are like, right? They're bashy, they're not too fast, they're not too good, but they've got a lot of skills and they've got a lot of options available, and Andy's got a lot of skill to play with them. So I think this is the kind of nature of them. The being best 2 out of 3. Yeah, he's going to lose the odd game, but he's going to come back and he's going to get it job done in the end, probably.
You still think so? So Jimmy still thinks it's going to be. Andy, Vitooc, do you think the same from watching these 2 games, or are you not sure?
Yeah, it is, but from what I saw from Arzowane, he kind of always found a way as well, always found a solution in complicated games. So, yeah, I will not be surprised that, once again, Andy takes us to overtime or something like that. We will see, but it's going to be a tough one.
I think so. Listen, I've been really impressed with Arzowane's play in these 2 games. I will say that watching his 2 games last night, I think he had a lot more things going his way, and it just didn't work out being difficult games like this, whereas these games have been tough. Both of them have had to make tough decisions all through these games. They've both asked each other hard questions. It's been super, super enjoyable to watch. I hope you're all enjoying it at home. I hope at home, I'm sure we've got some Andy fans, I'm sure we've got some Arzowane fans, but I hope what you're thinking is, rub your hands together. We're getting even more of this great Blood Bowl on finals weekend. We're going to take another break, give the players a chance to take a breather because they are marathons, these 3-game sessions, and give ourselves a chance to go and get a drink and a pause as well. And we will be back for game 3 right after this interval.